Blind, the podcast where I am blind, and today I'm going to talk about that for hopefully about an hour. I'm Nevé.
I'm Sam. And we're really excited. We're really excited that you're here with us.
I choked up. Yes, very excited to have you here with us today. As I said, today I'm going to be talking about blindness in fiction. So this is the second part to the podcast that we did last time where Sam talked about Richard III and disability. So I'm going to be talking about how blindness is portrayed but also used in fiction, and then we're going to talk about a couple of specific stories. One that I weirdly really like, but I just learned about 5 minutes ago Sam has not seen the film, and I will be spoiling it for her, so
spoiler alert.
Fun day. Yeah, spoiler alert. I will give you another spoiler warning before we get to that part. I want to start off by asking you, Sam, when I say blind characters in fiction, does anyone pop into your head?
I think of King Lear and the connection between blindness and madness that we have in that play. You also reminded me a while ago of The Fault in Our Stars, where we have, I think it's Isaac, who's a blind character in that. Other than that, there's a horror film of someone being blind that I haven't seen.
I've not seen it either.
Oh, okay.
I meant to watch it, and I just didn't really feel like watching a scary film.
Look, it's a commitment to watch a horror film,
It is.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all. It'd be King Lear and Fault in Our Stars, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So definitely not like a prevalent thing that we see in like film especially, but like books and that sort of thing. You don't really see blind characters a lot. They tend to be, especially films, it tends to be very, very niche films or very, very old films. Not a lot of new stuff is being made with blind characters, which is a damn shame because we're great. First off, I wanted to read you, this is just really funny. When I first started researching blindness in fiction, I Googled blindness representation in fiction, and Copilot, Microsoft's AI assistant, gave me a little overview, and this was what it said. And
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored by Microsoft. But
Silicon Valley does not know about us.
I'm literally about to rip them to shit. So,
so it's never going to happen.
No.
Okay.
But I would love to hear your response to this because I had quite a visceral reaction to this. So,
Okay.
In fiction, blindness can be represented as a symbol of ignorance, a metaphor for characters lacking insight, or a vulnerability that evokes sympathy, while also potentially highlighting heightened sensitivity to the surroundings. What do you think of that?
Holy fuck. So is this is what Copilot gave you?
Yeah.
And what was the prompt that you gave it?
Blindness representation in fiction.
And what was the first 10 words?
In fiction, blindness can be represented as a symbol of ignorance.
The horrible, fucked up thing is that reference in literature is probably a fair assumption. I think in a lot of literature that is what it grows to represent.
Yeah.
Which just completely feeds into this totally deficit idea of blindness, and also this deficit idea of disability. It means something is wrong, something is missing, you are stupid, you are vulnerable. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So I immediately was like, this is why I don't like Microsoft products, because you're a piece of shit for saying that to me. But the more I looked into it, authors, producers, writers in general don't tend to put blind characters in for no reason. It's because they're representing something else that's going on with the character or within the story. It's never that they just happen to be blind. It's because they're using it to reveal something else about the world, which I hate. How do you feel about it?
If it was just the fact it's a plot device is probably what you find disturbing,
Yeah.
right? The fact that it's not just blindness for blindness's sake. It's a hard one. The fact it represents something means it's a tool, which is problematic in itself. But then also the fact that I'm sure what we're going to talk about is that it's often coming with really negative, offensive connotations. It stands for their magical superpower and strength or beauty, or it's going to be some kind of deficit. So,
Yeah.
God, I'm already mad.
You're gonna be mad.
I'm gonna be fucking mad. Oh.
Right. So in fiction, blindness is always used as a plot tool, like you were saying. It is never just there for the sake of being there. Like, it's not just like that character's a female because some human beings are females. It's never like that. It's always a representation of something else, which I do not like in the slightest. In King Lear, it's Lear, right? Not Lear.
I don't know.
Okay.
Should we ask Shakespeare? I feel like there's no way to actually know that. King Lear. What's the difference? King Lear or...
I'm saying it like Princess Leia. It's not even her name.
Leia. It's not Leia.
It's not Leia,
I think it's
for
like,
sure.
I think it's like Lear.
Lear.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Lear.
Something monstrous about that name, the way you said that.
So in King Lear, vision is representative of power. So the lack of it kind of represents King Lear losing his power. It does also, of course, go along with that losing his mind plot point. All of the analysis that I read of King Lear was very much like the blindness in the play represents how he was ignorant to the people who were around him who really loved him, which is a cool plot point, but I just don't think it makes it any more powerful that we have actual blindness in the story, because to me, blindness doesn't mean ignorance or a lack of insight or a loss of power. It just means I can't see. So I thought that was really interesting because it really showed me that all of these blind characters have been written by not blind people.
Can you clarify to me, because I studied King Lear maybe second year, maybe in first year of uni.
You've studied it more than I then.
It was a long time ago though, and I have a terrible memory. The blindness is self-inflicted by Lear? He pulls out his own eyes?
No, so he doesn't pull out his eyes. Someone pulls out Gloucester's eyes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I see. We might get to this later, but does context change this representation in some way? Like, does that feel like a different kind of blindness if it was an assault like that? Or if it was self-inflicted versus someone who had an illness, as you did, and then it was from that, or genetic? Do those different forms mean anything? Or is it all, we're all blind, it's shut up?
So something like that, especially like the plucking out of one's eyes, that feels very far removed from reality, and it feels very theatrical. So it kind of feels fine. It also doesn't feel like he's trying to write a blind character at all. He's just, again, really hammering home the point that, like, you too are ignorant, and so I'm gonna pluck your eyes out so that you lack not only insight but sight as well. I think the context does definitely matter, because that doesn't feel like a story about the blind community at all. But the plot does hang on that kind of idea of blindness and vision being tied to power. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't bother me that much because it is so kind of ridiculous, I guess, and theatrical. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. The context does for sure matter, though. That was a long way of saying, yes, the context does matter.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so another point I wanted to talk about was how when characters are blind, they are always totally blind. I first wanted to start by saying, because I thought about it, and this is the case with every disabled character, I feel, because they're never a little bit deaf. A little bit deaf is probably terribly offensive, and I'm so sorry. I do not know the term for not totally deaf, but if they're a wheelchair user, they're a full-time wheelchair user. It is very much a binary. You are either fully disabled in the air quotes, or not.
Totally.
There's no room for visual impairment.
Media loves a binary. It's the way that humans make sense of the world. It's the narrow-minded way of conceiving things, because it's so hard for us to fill in the grey, fill in the gaps, and it's hard for us to comprehend that things exist outside our comprehension. Like, same with gender and sexuality and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, true. So do you think that's why blind but more widely disabled characters are written as that binary, so that non-disabled people can make more sense of it?
Well, totally. I think there are very few parts of media and literature that don't cater to non-disabled people. Media, fiction, literature exists for an able-bodied audience because the able-bodied audience is the majority. So let's do it in a way that, like, the creators will be non-disabled. They're expecting their audience to be non-disabled.
Yeah.
We're going to, approach it from an ableist perspective, but we're also going to cater to an ableist audience. So no one, 1 in 10 around the world, 1 in 4 in New Zealand, but, like, no one's going to know any different.
Yeah. I guess this is totally my opinion, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I think the reason, particularly with blindness, this doesn't really apply to other disabilities. I don't think. Who knows, it might. But I think that a character must be totally blind or totally 20/20 vision sighted, because the blind characters are always portrayed as having super heightened other senses to, like, a supernatural level a lot of the time. And if that person has some usable vision still, that suddenly showcases how fucking ridiculous that idea is. I couldn't find any research that backed me up on that, but that's what I think it is, because they want to be able to show that, like, this character's blind, but, like, they can survive because they have tools that help them see without their eyes, essentially. But yeah, as soon as someone is visually impaired, that just makes no fucking sense. What are your thoughts?
Were you saying I couldn't find any research on this, but this is my opinion? You are the research.
Oh.
You are in the disabled community. You are in the blind community. You have a lived experience. The research comes from you. So that is an opinion
published.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the opinion in itself. And I think you're right. Like, it's so much funnier to have, I'm pretty sure there's a scene in Fault in Our Stars where they're, like, egging someone's house and Isaac throws the egg and it misses the house. So much funnier if he can't fucking see a single damn thing with slightly usable vision. You know, he could be working outside of his blind spots. He could be working on colours, shapes and light. Like,
yeah,
it's easier and it's funnier and it's way more metaphorical. And you're right, it means we're perpetrating the stereotype of I can hear things from 3 miles away because I cannot see anything.
Yeah.
I would like you to clarify, to really hammer home how incorrect that is.
Yes.
Because I know lots of people personally believe that blind people, or even visually impaired people, even though that's the same thing, have heightened senses in other ways. Like, obviously they do. Like, can you please confirm that is never the case?
Yes. Official statement from, I nearly said my full name. We're going anonymous.
Oh yeah, we're still trying to keep this a little bit.
Official statement from a blind person. I do not have a heightened sense of hearing, of smell, of touch, or of taste. I don't think I've ever been accused of having a heightened sense of taste. Well, maybe. But no, I do rely on my hearing more than you do, probably, because you don't need to, because you can just rely on visual cues. But that does not mean my hearing is better than yours. I listen to music very loud through my earpods. My hearing is probably worse than a lot of people. I'm quite a loud person, you know? I'm constantly just blasting my own eardrums. But no, blind people are not superheroes that have little powers, and I really feel like this, and I kind of worked this out a few years ago when I was talking to Jessie about it. I figured out that I think blindness scares people so much. Like, it's one of the disabilities that people, like, really can't comprehend how people live blind. And so thinking, oh yes, they're blind, but they're essentially not disabled because they have this super sense of hearing and smell, so they can interact with the world just the same, helps ease that fear of it. Because people, like, so many people I speak to just genuinely are dumbfounded that I am alive, even, because they just don't understand how someone can live being visually impaired, which is insane. Long tangent there. But no, blind people don't have heightened other senses. And also, I'm seeing a lot recently of blind people using echolocation. And I would just like to say, hey guys, that's a really fun word to throw around, but we're not bats and we're not dolphins. And so can we just actually describe what we're doing? We're just listening, and we're just developing our listening skills to recognize how sound is bouncing off of objects.
Who the fuck is saying echolocation?
Like, everyone.
Is this a discourse online, or have people fucking said this to you?
No, people have said this.
Something else that feels very problematic about that is that it is dehumanizing you. Mm-hmm. It is dehumanizing you as a person and as a blind person. It's saying you're just a fucking cute little bat, just like flying around, like listening to shit, banging off trees. Like, that feels very scary that that's a thing that people believe. And it also feels like it's feeding into the supernatural abilities thing as well.
Yeah.
Which, like, if we want to romanticize and make you like superhuman and heroic because you're disabled, we can, if some people want to find power in that, then like fine.
Oh, 100%.
But I also think that again is dehumanizing. Like, we're just fucking walking down your street, we're in your classrooms, we're your neighbors, we're
just regular people.
We're not impossible fucking superheroes. We're just chilling out with you. It feels like it's one or the other, especially with the blind community, with what you were saying now. You're a superhero or you're a fucking bat.
Yeah.
To be fair, I love bats. But they're not people.
No.
With jobs and homes and families and lives.
They don't even have jobs.
Critical thinking.
Freeloaders.
Bats are freeloaders.
Spread the word.
Holy shit. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, I found a really interesting journal article, which I couldn't read all of. So I read the abstract of a journal article.
Okay, so you made a start.
Yeah.
You got
It's all I could access.
You can read for free.
So I read this abstract. Like I ever read anything more than the abstract when I was doing research. And the author was talking about how the way blind characters are written often reflects the way that blind people are viewed socially at the time. So back in the day when they were writing the Greek mythology books, good sentence. Back in the day when they were writing Greek mythology, it was always blindness, a character is blinded as a punishment for betraying the gods, essentially. And at that time, that was kind of how blindness was viewed. It's like, you've done something, so this is almost kind of karmic. Like, you are a bad person, therefore you're blind. That's your punishment.
Can we pause for a second on that?
Yeah.
I remember you telling me years and years and years and years ago. We were in someone's car in town. Anyway, I just remember you saying, I fucking hate the idea of karma. I said, why? And you're like, because what the fuck did I do in my past life to be disabled? And that has stuck with me. That's probably 10 years ago. I think I've thought about that so much since then. And you were so decided on it as a young teenager. You were just like, no, fuck that. Like, the idea that what goes around comes around, and here I am with the disability rides on the fact that I've fucked up at some point.
Mm-hmm. I still definitely feel that way. The reason I came to that conclusion was because Jenna and Julian talked about it for like 2 seconds on one podcast in like probably 2014 or 2015. And they spoke about how like the whole, like you can read the list of like, if you do this, your karma will be this. And it was, if you steal books in your next life, you'll be blind.
Right.
I was like, because I stole some knowledge, I'm blind? Like, that is just stupid.
And insane.
And I still remember having just the most like visceral, angry reaction to that because it pissed me off so much. Yeah. Like, it felt so icky and I hated it. And yeah, that was kind of like, because I'd always kind of been like, yeah, karma, whatever. I don't really think about it. But then after that, I was like, no, everything's random. Nothing happens for a reason. We're literally on a floating rock in space. There's no reason to any of it.
Totally fair. I think I disagree with you in some ways. I do think there is an aspect of putting energy out that means it comes back to you. But
I would agree with that.
I definitely don't think there's you do this so this happens. There's no, like, who the fuck, like, rules are a human construct.
Again,
like,
a binary of
exactly.
like, yeah.
It's so insane, but it's fascinating to me to hear you talk about karma and disability in this context right now. It's something that you've read, something that you've seen online, and how that's something that even you have been aware of for a long time.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
In that, so I'm paying a punishment in this life for something I don't remember it makes no sense. No. Like, something that happened fucking 3 billion fucking years ago.
When you were a dinosaur.
Like, I fucking ate the wrong tree, or I stepped on someone's child.
Wrong tree.
Fucking Stegosaurus fucking shit up, and here I am now, like, with SMA struggling. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Yeah, so like that was kind of how it was viewed back then, and then we kind of jump forward again, and we're still kind of seeing that in, say, King Lear, where, you know, vision is equated with power and vision loss is equated with a lack of insight and ignorance. It's always conflated with ignorance. Always, always, always. And yeah, same sort of thing. Like, that was speaking out of my ass here, but I'm assuming that was the social view on blindness at that time as well. Like, yeah, we see a little bit of a change, but still same kind of vibe, right? It's like, it's a punishment, but not in the same way as in back in Greek mythology days. And then more recent stuff where the blind character is the main character, it's that they're a superhero and they have all these incredible other senses, or they have this amazing technology, or they're literally Daredevil and they are a superhero. And I think that has been, at least in my life, that's the view that non-disabled people have of blindness, is that we're superheroes and we can do anything because our other senses are heightened and we're like these amazing creatures that can do anything because we're bats and we can echolocate. So it was really interesting because I guess I'd never really thought about that, but I thought, like, this is right. This makes a lot of sense. And I do think that is the case, which makes me feel like, you know, from the time that Oedipus was written to now, we've made a lot of change in how blind people are represented. So, like, you know, we're on the right track, I guess.
It's kind of one extreme to the other, though.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Oedipus.
Oedipus. Yeah, he was the first blind character that I read about in the Wikipedia article that I was doing research in.
He's blind?
He blinds himself when he realises that
He's in love with his mother.
Yeah.
Oh! See, that's not in any of the stuff that... the knowledge that I have of the Oedipus complex or Oedipus Rex or whatever. Wow, wait.
Let me find... I stole a section. I didn't even paraphrase it because I was like, it's Wikipedia. That's copy and paste, baby. And yeah, I did get this information from Wikipedia, so grain of salt. But
of course,
I really like Wikipedia. Just a side note. They know that I like large print. Like, that's been saved in my cookies, and so every time I go in there, everything's all large print, whether I'm on my phone or my computer. Like, it's the most accessible website ever.
We definitely give them credit for that then.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, I think those were pretty much all the common themes that I wanted to talk about. So now I might talk about some... I am definitely going to be focusing on film because I certainly don't have enough time to read a bunch of books very quickly because, as mentioned, blind.
In case you weren't aware. That slipped through the cracks and you stumbled upon this hoping
like, she's blind?
For a girly podcast on dating or something.
Yeah, so all of the things I'm going to talk about now are from film. I really wanted to talk about some blind video game characters, but there's like one, and he's from Mortal Kombat, so it's, you know, completely without reality, so it just seemed silly to talk about. But so the first thing I want to talk about is Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Deadpool?
Love Deadpool.
Cool. I hadn't seen it up until like mid last year, and I absolutely loved it as well. And again, Jesse was like, oh, you should talk about his roommate, because his roommate,
of course,
is blind.
Of course, the old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love the way that character is done, because she's not a superhero. It's not a plot point that she's blind. She just is blind. And I love it. I think that is like perfect representation of a blind character in a film. What are your thoughts on the way she's represented as someone who isn't blind?
I was going to say, my thoughts don't matter. It's yours that matter.
You matter to me.
Oh, stop. I watched it again end of last year, I think, to prep for Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't seen. But
it's okay.
Okay. Not great.
Yeah, I have not seen any of the Wolverine films other than
Me neither.
Logan.
Terrible memory. I remember watching it end of last year and being like, I need to ask Nevé's opinion on her. I forget her name.
I can't
some
remember
old
her
lady
name.
right?
Yeah.
But I remember enjoying it.
Yeah.
But being like, my opinion, like, I need to get a blind person's perspective on how this portrayal is done. But I like, she's just, and she's not like super romanticized. She's not super likable, but you do like her. Mm-hmm. She meets him on the same level. They're both kind of hot messes.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he makes blind jokes with her.
Yeah.
Which she's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
there's just this real bro-y, we're on the same level kind of chaos between them.
Yeah.
And her blindness isn't a plot point or a device or a symbol. She's just a character in there that somehow balances really well with Deadpool. I really like their dynamic, and I think the fact that it's a normal, very bro-y dynamic is really nice. That we have a disabled character that's not a big deal. We're not going to pull your eyes out and we're going to lose our insight into... It's just like, I'm just an old
She's just
fucking
blind,
lady hobbling around.
Old people lose their vision. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think, yeah, the whole thing of him making lots of blind jokes too, it just felt so real.
Yeah. It's just you and Jessie fucking all
It
the
literally
time.
just felt like me and Jessie.
Doesn't he, like, hide her drugs from her at
Yeah,
one point?
yeah. Jessie's
It's
never
so
done that to
fun.
me, which, I mean...
Jessie doesn't
I mean, hiding
hide
stuff.
your cocaine.
I don't have any cocaine, okay?
This podcast is sponsored by the cocaine that Jessie's hiding under the
It's
floorboards.
somewhere. Yeah, but I think the main thing is that it is not a plot point at all. It doesn't represent anything else in the film. I mean, maybe it does, but if anyone's tying it to that, they're fucking stupid. It's just, she just is an old woman who's blind, and I absolutely love it. Like, she's got to be top 3 blind characters for me.
Nice.
Out of all the blind characters that I've consumed.
The multiple representations that you had to choose from for this. Blind as a bat? Echolocation? What is that simile about? Because they use echolocation.
Yeah, so...
I just got hit with the proverb.
Yeah, so sometimes the proverb just sneaks up and hits you.
Truly. I would love to have a conversation with you about blindness in, like, language.
I kind of started getting into that in this one, and then I thought, no, this needs to be a separate podcast.
Yeah, I think we could do disability in language.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Because again, it's that thing of, oh, I'm so blind today. Where is this? It's like, well, are you blind or are you stupid today?
It's in my blind spot. I was blindsighted by this.
Yeah.
It's
Blind date.
Yeah.
Going in blind.
It's not knowing is what it stands for in language, I think.
Yeah, which is insane. Hate it, truly hate it.
I pick up on it in loads of songs now.
Oh.
So many.
Yeah, songwriters love it.
Yeah, and I know I would have put it in some stupid poetry that I've written as well, because I just wouldn't, it's
You don't know
just-
there's a problem until
you think about it. But then it's like the use of the word blind is everywhere, and it never means what it is. Well, maybe sometimes, like blind spot when you're driving a car, but it's like it's not actual blindness, but it is something that you can't see.
See, a blind spot, something like that, I think that makes sense to
Okay.
me, because it is a blind, like,
because it is talking about, it is mimicking
something that
actual
you can't
blindness.
see.
Right.
Yeah, like you don't have the ability to see it. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
What doesn't make sense to me is like,
Is not knowing or ignorance.
yeah, like going in blind. Well, no, you just don't have all the information.
Let's say that.
It's so not difficult, and I don't know how, because you would never say I'm going in deaf, because that just sounds insane. Cool.
Okay.
So I do want to do, I've got one more film that I have written so much about.
Okay.
First, I do want to mention some other films that I didn't have a chance to watch, but so you've got Don't Breathe, which is that horror one, and Don't Breathe 2 and Don't Breathe 3, maybe? I think there's 3.
Wow.
Plot of that is blind guy lives in his home. These kids are thieves, and they think, I'm gonna go steal from this old blind man because he'll be really easy to steal from. That's about as far as I got. It really didn't sound like a bit of me. They get trapped in the house, and then he obviously has super hearing, so they need to be really, really quiet so that he doesn't know where they are, essentially. Which, like, it's a horror film, I'm not going to judge it too harshly, but again, it is this thing of, blind people have spidey senses, and it brought up a point for me that I think is really interesting. That movie, and again, I haven't seen it, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming because the thing's called Don't Breathe, they're not talking to each other, the characters, very much in the film. So you really need to have 20/20 vision to be able to enjoy the film, because you're not getting any exposition through dialogue, which really highlighted to me that movies about blind characters are not made for blind people.
Fuck, that's good from you. It would be really good, because I love what you've done there is you've thought about the plot itself and why that's problematic, but you've also thought about it from a meta perspective as a consumer, as a blind consumer. You're like, well, not only are we not represented, but we're also not catered to. Actually, let's not say catered to. That makes us sound like we need to be catered to. Like, the world just doesn't have systems made for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's a great point, because no one with full vision would think like that. So your clothes rack just sunk. Like, the side closest to you just dropped slightly. What is it with us being in this room that makes that happen?
I don't know.
Fuck, I wish we were recording when it did that the other week. That was so funny. Like, that sound on audio would have been so funny.
I couldn't believe the timing. Like, I keep thinking about it. You just finished your point and it went boof.
It feels a wee bit haunty, I can't lie to you.
Just doing that now, it now feels haunty. And
It felt
I'm
haunty.
slightly scared being in here now.
It felt haunty to me when it happened last time, but that felt deliberate. Like it waits for a moment to do it.
Oh, no! Ah!
Whoopee!
My back is to it.
No, it's okay. I've got 20/20 vision behind you. I can be your eyes.
Yay. Guys, I have eyes. They're called Sam.
No, you have eyes. I give you another set of eyes.
I have 4 eyes.
You're welcome.
Guys, I'm better than you. I have 3 eyes because I'm half blind.
Logic.
Full tangent. Half blind has to be the worst way to say visually impaired wrong.
Half blind.
Like, that is just it's just not accurate ever.
I like 3 eyes and half blind, because maths just does not add up. That's how I do maths.
But like, I'd have teachers or something be like, oh, this is Nevé, yeah, she's half blind. I'm like, no, where did you get that from?
That's so weird.
I don't think that's how you measure it. Oh dear. Weird. So another one that I watched, like, the small section of that is on Netflix. Like, it was an old enough movie that it didn't have the trailer on there, so it just had like a little snippet of the film. So in this 1992 classic, Al Pacino plays a blind man.
Okay.
In a movie called Scent of a Woman, which I watched a little bit of it, as I said, and just, I don't think I'm an Al Pacino fan, first of all, but my God, did he play this blind man creepy.
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman.
And it's about a blind man.
Yep.
Okay.
I did not look into it at all because I just genuinely wasn't interested in watching it. Also, like, it was the early 90s. The acting was early 90s acting. You know, it wasn't a masterpiece. But yeah, I just thought, you don't see a lot of this, but man, they made blind people seem really, really creepy. And like,
whoa,
they have this insight. I think it's mainly because of the name of the film. But like, they have this insight that other people aren't getting. Like, they can really smell a woman's perfume, or like they can tell what perfume a woman's wearing because we can smell things better than other people. And I was just like, ooh, I hate this. Like,
that's so creepy.
Again, didn't even look into the plot of the film because I had enough at that point. So I might be completely off. But like, this one little snippet I watched, it was rough.
I've seen that on my Netflix. I've scrolled past it and been like, what the fuck is that about? And knowing that that's what it's about is very disturbing. Sean and I were watching Sense and Sensibility, for the record, his choice, the other night. And when we searched it, that came up. Obviously, Scent. And then Sense.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, let's watch that one. And then did it. But like...
yeah, that's what it's about.
Sick.
Also, no hate to Al Pacino. I'm sure he's a great actor.
Al Pacino, if you're listening. This podcast is brought to you by Al Pacino. And him sniffing women.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was weird. And
yeah.
So this brings me to my next point. I couldn't find an example of a time where a blind actor has played the blind character.
Okay.
It's always just regular old, usually male actors. That's another point, actually. Most films and most blind characters in general are men.
I can't think of any female ones.
There's one that Audrey Hepburn played back in the 50s.
Oh, the same one where Mickey Rooney plays an Asian man?
Oh my god, maybe?
It's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, no, it's not Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Also, she's obviously not blind in Breakfast at Tiffany's. What am I talking about? Oh, it's if you ever look into Mickey Rooney Breakfast at Tiffany's, it'll disturb you. It's so fucked up.
Wait Until Dark.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to watch it, but you have to pay for it on Amazon Prime, and I think that is just capitalism gone fucking buck wild.
I don't think Bezos needs anything else from us.
I will not do it.
Me neither.
Susie is a... It said Susie is a blind. I was about to get really mad. Susie is blind and stays with her husband, Sam. Oh,
great name.
A woman hands over a doll containing heroin to Sam, which
sorry.
he unknowingly takes home. A group of gangsters make terrifying plans to get the doll back. What? I might need to watch it. That sounds quite good.
That just sounds insane. What, and she's fucking visually impaired?
I don't know!
With a cane in one hand, drugs in the other.
That was pretty much the only movie I could find that had a blind female character, because it is always men, and I found that interesting. Usually main female characters need to be portrayed as beautiful and elegant, and I don't think a sighted writer would be able to comprehend that a blind woman can still get dressed well and put makeup on and do her hair. She would have to be a mess, essentially.
Yeah.
And so it's just easier to make the characters men, because then you're not having to worry about all the beauty standards.
So true.
Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
That would make a lot of sense, though, if that was the motivation for it.
yeah. And I don't think it's probably happened consciously. I think it is just, that's just the way it's ended up happening, which, yeah, interesting. But yeah, can you think of any blind or visually impaired actors?
Do you have one in mind?
No.
No, we just scour
There are
our
none.
brains.
I mean, there are some, of course, but they're not, A-list Sydney Sweeneys.
The director probably wouldn't blow up the script big enough for them to fucking read it.
Yep.
Well, we, for the episode I did, we talked about the disabled actors, and a few of those were visually impaired, I think. So they totally exist, but they're definitely not in mainstream film.
No. And yeah, I think that is just a shame. I just also think we don't have enough disability representation in, I guess, acting, but just generally performing arts, I guess.
Do you think we're working towards that? Do you think in some ways the world is going to give us more representation?
I think so. I think it's going to take a really long time, because I think the way it will go first, and I think the way it is going currently is, yeah, we're writing more disabled characters in, but we're still probably going to give the part to a non-disabled actor, because there are more non-disabled actors. So we're like we said on your episode, like,
The pool is larger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think eventually, but I also just, like, acting is really inaccessible for me as a blind person. Like, reading a script is a nightmare. Yeah, it's all, like, everything is very visual. Cues and everything are going to be very visual, and no one has figured out how to adapt that.
Which sounds insane, because there are so many tools now that would make, or like just do things a little bit differently, I think. And this is what I still definitely deal with: disability shame every single day. I'm always embarrassed. I always feel like a burden, or like I'm attention seeking by needing a different thing, which is just the reality of my existence. It's not, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
But if it comes to somebody else, I'm like, it's literally just that these systems don't work for us. It's not like it's actually that difficult to have systems that do work for us.
Yeah.
It's just doing things differently.
Like, and most of the time, so slightly differently.
Like, your cues don't, slightly, right? Your cues don't have to be visual, they can be oral. Took me a second to think of audible. You can have hearing cues, or you can have
Tactile cues. Like,
or you, like, your fucking, your assistant on set can tap you on the shoulder and be like, go on, like, and there's text to speech with scripts, and you could have an assistant that was doing the translations for, like, there's
use an accessible font, use an accessible layout, all the information is there, and it's very, very easy to do, but people won't,
because doing something different just feels super hard when I really don't think it is.
No,
but
it's more effort.
It's more effort, and it just leaves us feeling like we're always the burden in the room.
Yeah, like if people just made the adjustments beforehand,
totally,
literally wouldn't have a problem. But they don't. But maybe they will. Because of this podcast.
We are changing the world here.
Yeah, this is the whole point. We're looking for large-scale change. And peachy do-betters.
Truly. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so to finish off, I do want to talk about a film. Big fat spoiler alert coming. I'm about to ruin the film for you in about a sentence. So I want to talk about Book of Eli. Now, for the entirety of that film, we are not aware as the audience that Eli is blind. That's the twist at the end.
Wow. Okay, so, I've never seen it.
Yeah. So I assumed you wouldn't have, because it really doesn't seem like a Sam film. It's like post-apocalyptic, like, kind of thriller action.
It's not giving Mr. Darcy sideburn. Then.
No.
Understood.
But so, quick breakdown of the plot. 30 years after war turned the world into a wasteland, a lone warrior named Eli. Warrior? I don't like warrior. A lone warrior named Eli marches across the ruined landscape, my eyes. The ruined landscape carrying hope for humanity's redemption. Only one other man understands the power of what Eli carries, and he is determined to take it for himself. So basically, Eli has a book in his backpack, and he is guided by this book, and he believes it is how humanity can be redeemed 30 years after war has ruined the planet. And so he is basically trekking across the lands to get it to, I believe, a museum or some sort of thing where he can get it dispersed. But this other guy knows that Eli has the book and he wants to steal it so that he can redeem humanity, essentially. Calamity.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah. Ensues. That's the word I was looking for. The baddie who wants to steal the book off Eli ends up getting the book, and right at the end of the film, Eli makes it to this museum where there's this guy who's like, right, let's get a bunch of copies of the book made so that we can disperse them and save humanity, as Eli's like dying on the ground. And we cut back to the bad guy. The bad guy opens the book, and it's a copy of the Bible, and it's entirely in Braille.
I just got chills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's like, motherfucker.
So the key to the book is being blind. The key to saving humanity is you have to be able to read Braille at the very least.
Yeah, like the only copy left of the Bible is a Braille copy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so obviously Eli doesn't have the book anymore, but he has entirely memorized it. The entire King James Bible.
Slay from Eli.
And he just says it all out loud while someone is scribing it, and then he dies. Very sad. It is such an incredible film. It's one of my favourite films, and I did start rewatching it, and then I got too stressed again, so I stopped rewatching it. But I've never seen Braille in any film, TV show, book, anything other than Book of Eli.
Therapist question. How does that make you feel?
It made me so proud. Yeah, it made me want to start learning Braille again.
Representation is so fucking important.
Yeah. Oh, it just felt so uplifting and like othering to people who aren't blind and haven't learnt how to read Braille. It's the same sort of thing as like why I like saying non-disabled rather than able-bodied. It's like, no, you're in the other group. Yes, you got the book, but you suck because you're not blind and you can't read Braille, and I'm superior. And I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It was so cool to see. So yeah, we don't know right until he opens that braille copy of the book that Eli is blind.
Did you know the first time you watched it?
No.
That plot twist must have been fucking insane for you to witness.
Yeah. And Jesse was sitting there, like, watching me watching the twist.
Also, he knew what was coming.
Yeah,
he
he'd
didn't
seen
tell
it.
you.
He'd seen it before. Yeah, he was like, "No, you need to watch it."
He was like, "Whoa."
Boy, have I got a film for you, Nevé. Yeah, so he knew what was coming. I did not. It was the most insane moment. And it was years ago that we watched it. Like, I think it was 2019 that we watched it. It was a long time ago.
Wow.
And I still remember it so well. I'm going to watch it later today.
I want
now.
to too. This sounds incredible.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I have spoiled it. I was like, I don't want to spoil it for her. I want her to, like, enjoy it. But, like, you still enjoy it once you know he's blind. Because you notice how all of the sound in the film is amplified in a really interesting way. So, like, the opening shot is him aiming a bow at some sort of little woodland creature. And as he shoots the arrow, all of the other sound kind of fade, like, the sound of the world fades out and you can just hear the arrow slithering through the air. And that happens a lot. But obviously, when you don't know that that's happening, you have no idea that this man is blind, which I will say is pretty much entirely unrealistic, especially because he's totally blind. Like, that just, it's not realistic at all. But, and I do feel like a hypocrite for that not bothering me at all, but it is, like, post-apocalyptic. It's very far removed from reality. It's still grounded in reality, but
You're still, like, reality is still withheld for a film like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
yeah. And while the blindness of it all is definitely a plot tool.
Pause. Blindness of it all. Title.
Okay.
Carry on.
I nearly didn't say it because I felt like a wank. So.
The blindness of it all.
The blindness of it all.
If you love it, I love it.
Okay. Yeah, that is, of course, a plot point. Like, that's the twist at the end. It doesn't feel like it's being used as a plot point in the same way as it is in King Lear and Oedipus.
Well, it's not being used as a representation of weakness. That entire premise is turning social expectation around disability on its head entirely, and it's empowering the disabled minority and disempowering the abled minority.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I cannot recommend it enough to all the listeners that I've just spoiled.
Hey you, for people.
Hello, Jesse.
Have you... Oh, what I was going to say. Are there any other clues throughout the film of his blindness?
And once you're rewatching it, literally constantly.
You see it all the time.
Like, I even noticed, so he's sitting, within the first 5 minutes, he's sitting in front of a fire that he's made, eating something, and then a little mouse comes scurrying along, like, the fence that he's leaning against, and he kind of, like, leans over, head to the side slightly, kind of facing, looking at where the mouse is, and the mouse comes closer and it's squeaking away, so obviously he knows where it is. His eyes don't follow the mouse at all.
Right. So we see his eyes and they don't have any visible signs of blindness. Visible signs of blindness?
Yeah,
that's a weird thing for me to say.
There's no, like, I mean, like, he has eyeballs.
Yeah. Like, no signs of, I guess, like, albinism or...
No.
Looking in...
No. He just... It's Denzel Washington.
I was going to ask who the actor was.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Again, not a blind man.
Also a black man.
A black man, yes. Yeah.
Minorities
We
come
love
through.
that. So definitely not albinism.
Definitely not.
That's why I felt it was important to tell you that Denzel Washington plays Eli. It's also got Mila Kunis in it, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Yummy yum. So sorry.
You better not cut that out, you Yummy yum.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about how obviously most of what I've talked about so far is me being like, it's bad that blindness is used as a plot point and that blind characters are written by sighted writers and it's usually just off because they don't have any lived experience and have no idea what it's like to be blind. And I think there's an element of that in this film because, again, he just would have no way of knowing that if he's totally blind, he's even going in the right direction. A big part of the film is him having this kind of talking relationship with God as well. Religion is a big part of it, of course. The whole thing is that he has the last copy of the Bible. But I don't know, I love this film so much, and I think Denzel Washington did such a good job, and it kind of needed to be that this character was played by a sighted person, because otherwise that would kind of give it away.
That's fascinating that you found an exception that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
And it still makes me feel a bit icky because I do feel like a hypocrite.
No, but that's the thing. Again, it comes back to binaries. Like, multiple truths can exist at once. You can still believe that this is important for representation, this is how I feel, but this is also how I feel in this specific...
Yeah.
You don't need to... You're a human being with complex emotions,
Thank you. He is also just, as a character, like, the most badass person ever. Like, he kills an entire gang of people very easily.
Slay.
Like, he's just so good, and I just love that. But I also think, I'm just having this thought now, this isn't even written down, but I think I like that, yeah, sometimes you're not going to be able to tell that someone's blind. We don't walk around with our hands out in front of us constantly. Like, we don't always use a mobility aid. You know, it's not going to be super obvious all the time. Like, it felt weirdly real and grounded in what actual blindness is like. And you didn't get any of the shit of, like, seeing through his eyes or whatever. It was just like, this is an awesome character. He is so interesting as a character before we even know this massive thing about him, and that he's carrying around a braille copy of the Bible. And I love the braille so much because you just don't see it ever. I cannot think of another time where braille is in film or TV or a book. So
Me neither.
yeah, I just absolutely love it. I cannot recommend it enough. Again, I feel terrible for having spoiled it, but it's so worth watching.
That's the only
still.
way to have this conversation, though.
Yeah. So those were all my thoughts. Take everything I said with a grain of salt because a lot of my information came from Wikipedia. So fingers crossed that one article was not tampered with. I can't imagine it would have been.
Surely not.
But yeah, how do you feel, Sam? I warned you that you might get more angry. I feel like I didn't deliver on that.
No, it's like, I don't know. Stress sniff. I feel like if I see blindness represented somewhere or I hear it come up in discourse, I have thoughts, but I'm like, the only thoughts that really count are the thoughts of people in the community. So the only thoughts I care about are Nevé's. So I love hearing things from your perspective and the nuances that you approach it with. Like, this is how I feel, but there's also this exception, or I feel so enlightened and I'm so grateful.
Yay.
And this was so exciting.
Yay!
And whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, part 2. Done.
Woo, we did it.
We did it.
Hell, if I don't delete it again.
Oh my goodness.
Command Z exists, that's fine.
Thank goodness.
Woo.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. I hope this was interesting.
The question mark that you ended that with. Look, here's the thing. If it's not, people can just not listen.
I would also love to hear anyone's thoughts, and if you also enjoyed Denzel Washington's portrayal of Eli.
If you would like to, we're going to be those people. If you want to, like, rate or leave a comment, then go for it. Also,
please leave a comment. That would literally make our lives.
Unless it's cyberbullying.
No cyberbullying allowed. You will be removed and blocked.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I've been Nevé.
I've been Sam. Past tense, we're now.
And will continue to be.
And we hope that you are now as mad as us.
Yeah.
No, choose peace. Like,
choose peace,
choose
but like,
peace,
be angry.
Have awareness.
Yeah. The outro is about 10 minutes
Okay.
at this point. Right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Love you,
Bye.
bye. See, I'm struggling because I'm just like, this is like a list of size 45 font words, and I'm
Just blind girl
so
things.
disorganized.